Hey everyone and welcome to today's class. आज हम English grammar को बिल्कुल simple और scoring बनाने वाले हैं. And we're starting with a really important topic for your SSC exams, adjectives. Let's make this easy.
Okay, let's just jump right in. Take a look at the screen. We have a very simple sentence here. He is a man. Now, just think for a second. What words could we pop in there to give it a bit more color, a little more meaning? Maybe he is a tall man, a strong man, or maybe an honest man.
And you know what? Those magic words you were just thinking of, like tall, strong, or honest, that's exactly what we call adjectives. Basically, they're describing words that qualify a noun or a pronoun. In other words, they just give us extra information about it.
So what's on the menu for today's class? Let's take a quick look. First, we'll meet the adjective family. Then we'll get into the different levels of comparison, check out the rules, have a little pop quiz to test ourselves, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways. Sound good? Let's go.
All right, first things first, let's meet the entire adjective family. And hey, don't get overwhelmed if you've seen a long list in a textbook. We are going to make this super easy.
See, there's absolutely no need to memorize, 10 or 11 different types. Let's be smart about this. We're just going to group them into these logical families based on what they do. Some describe, some point, some ask questions. It's that simple.
The most common type you'll see everywhere is the adjective of quality. It's the one that answers the question what kind or kaisa hai. Ritu is what kind of girl? Beautiful. Ravi is what? He's smart. It just describes the quality.
Now this slide is really important because it tackles a super common point of confusion, much versus many. The rule is simple, and if you get it now, you'll remember it forever. Many is for countable nouns, things you can actually count, like pens, and much is for uncountable things, like work or oil or ink.
Next up, we have demonstrative adjectives. Think of these as, well, literally like pointing fingers. They tell us exactly which noun we're talking about. This boy right here. Those trees way over there.
Okay, now we're getting to the really fun part. How do we power up these adjectives to compare things? Let's check it out. Just think of it like 3 power levels. Level 1, the positive degree, is just a simple description. Level 2, the comparative degree, is when you're comparing 2 things. And then you've got level 3, the superlative degree. That's the highest level of them all for comparing more than 2. Tall, taller, tallest. Simple, right?
So, we know what they are. But how do we actually change an adjective from, say, tall to taller and then tallest? Well, there are some really simple rules for that. Let's take a look.
Okay, so for most short adjectives, like the ones you see here, the rule is super straightforward. You just add ER to the end for the comparative and EST for the superlative. So strong becomes stronger and then strongest.
Now, what if the word already ends in E? Well, your job gets even easier. You just have to add an R or an ST. So brave becomes braver.
Okay, pay close attention to this next one because this is where a lot of spelling mistakes happen in exams. If you have a short vowel right before that final consonant, you have to gotta double that consonant. So big becomes B-I-G-G-E-R. Got it?
And our last common rule is for words that end in Y. It's pretty simple. Just change that Y to an I before you add the ER or EST. So happy becomes happier. Makes sense, right? All right, you learned the rules. Now it's time to put that knowledge to the test. We're going to apply them just like you would in your exam. And don't worry, we'll solve these together.
Okay, here's a classic question straight from SSC exams. Spot the error. These kind of necklace is expensive. Take a second. Read it carefully. What do you think is wrong here?
Aha, if you spotted it, great job. The mistake is something called number agreement. The main noun here is kind, which is singular, right? So the adjective pointing to it also has to be singular. That's why we have to change these to this. The correct sentence is this kind. Okay, one more. A fill in the blank this time. I have blank pens, but not blank ink. Your options are many and much. Think back to that rule we just talked about, countable versus uncountable.
And there you have it. This is a perfect illustration of that rule. You got it. Pens are something we can count, so we use many. Ink is uncountable, so we use much. I have many pens, but not much ink. See how easy it is once you know the rule?
Excellent work today, everyone. Seriously, you all did great. So let's do a quick recap and talk about what comes next.
So, what are the crucial points you need to lock in? First, remember adjectives just add detail. Second, group them by what they do to remember them easily. Third, you've got to master those 3 degrees. And of course, watch out for those spelling rules and practice spotting errors, especially with that number agreement thing we just saw.
And just remember this, the more you practice, the more confident you are going to feel. You can absolutely do this. You can master this topic. So keep up the amazing work, and I will see you in the next class. Keep learning.